This is a message from sponsor Intuit TurboTax. Now taxes is 100% free when you file in the TurboTax app if you're a first-time filer or didn't file with TurboTax last year. That's right. Just do your own taxes in the TurboTax app by February 18th. Had a few jobs last year? It's free. Have a lot of forms? Yep, still free. Have a bunch of new invisible crypto coins? Heads up, it's still free. Convinced you saw Bigfoot even if your friends don't believe you? That has absolutely nothing to do with taxes, but you better believe it's still absolutely free. Just download and do your own taxes in the TurboTax app by February 18th. All tax forms, all 100% free. Now this is taxes. See if you qualify in the TurboTax app. Excludes TurboTax Live, must start and file in-app by February 18th.
But the technical difficulty is this man is a professional. He goes all the way. Well, this is Jersey Joe.
It doesn't.
Reaver After Dark.
Want the Backheads to give you a blessing?
8 p.m. on shrmedia.com. Was an extremely great conservative commentator.
Classified my ass!
Government is another way to say better than you.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
Welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense as I juggle 20,000 things and hold on 1 second, Dan, for... Ouch, ouch, ouch. What? Where am I getting that from? Something's weird going on here.
That's what she said.
No, I'm serious. I'm getting feedback. I have no idea. No, on my end. I think... All right, I think I got it straightened out. I was getting like a repeat of what I just said a few moments ago. It's really weird. Well, welcome to the Reaver After Dark show with your hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Jersey Crash, as I screw things up. What it is I'm changing some stuff up, and I am now doing live streaming, and the show I did today with the programs that I'm using, it's eating up so much CPU, I had to put it on an old laptop I have. So now I'm having some issues with the laptop, with the sound. And I thought I had it all working perfect prior to getting on air earlier. But now, it would seem it's not fixed. So, if the stream's all messed up, I'll fix it after the show so it's ready to go. How you doing, Crash?
You're an idiot.
Yeah, I know. Tell me something I don't know.
2 plus 2 does equal 4.
No.
I don't know. I mean, you know, you're the one that's all for that Common Core math crap.
Oh, hell no, hell no. I didn't say I was for the Common Core math. Oh, as you know.
Anyway.
For the listeners, right before we got on air, I was unfortunately listening to the guy before me, and he was blathering on about how Trump is Obama. Just because they don't know what he's going to do, they say they think they know his goddamn policies. But here's the thing. I bet you I can compare Cruz to Obama a lot quicker. constitutional lawyer, junior senator. We've seen what that will do over the last 7 years. We know what he's going to do right now. There's Ted Cruz for you. He is so far, he is so far right. Nothing will get done in the Senate. Nothing will get done in the House. Because everything will be so far right, just as the last 7 goddamn years have been so far friggin' left, it isn't funny. So what's going to happen then is the Democrats are going to get up on their little soapbox. They're going to scream from the top of every mountain, look, we told you they are obstructionists. That proves it. Look, they're obstructing everything we want to do, and we will not see another goddamn Republican voted in ever again. Ted Cruz is not what he seems. He has done nothing but flip-flop on everything according to how the polls go. He has lied to us. He is using liberal tactics during his elections. What more do you have to know? He has put out there that he is modeling. He modeled his Senate run after Obama's elections. He is using the same thing for his presidential run because it works. He knows as a lawyer, as a trained liar, that all you... Uh-oh. What the hell just happened?
NSA?
Yeah. Okay, it's just my headset went. But one last point. They're trained liars. Lawyers are trained liars. And he knows that all he has to do, he can get caught in a lie. It doesn't matter. If that lie causes a slight amount of doubt, it's done its job. Hang on 1 second. Goddamn fucking headset. Well, I dropped the bomb first. All right, go ahead, Crash. You there?
You're a fucking idiot. There. Now we're even.
Oh. I'm sorry, but it just... There we go. It's fixed for now. It infuriates me. If you're going to come up with an argument, come up with an original argument. And no, the Hitler thing is not an original argument. It is nothing more than a liberal newspaper started that one.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Well, all right. So you want to bring that into this? You want to throw that into this? Okay, fine. You brought up comparisons. Now you're going to bring up the Hitler debate. Okay. What party was Hitler a part of?
He was part of the National Socialist Party.
Mm-hmm. Which would be closest to
the Democrats.
What party?
Democrats. I know that.
Okay. So, okay. All right. So now that automatically throws Trump out of the running. So now we're stuck with Sanders and Clinton. Hitler was responsible for the death of his citizens. Which one of the 2 Democratic representatives are responsible for the deaths of their own citizens?
Oh, yeah. Let me guess.
I think they got the comparison wrong.
Can I take Hillary for $500, please?
Well, you could, but underneath the Sanders plan and the Clinton plan, I'm going to have to tax somebody who makes more than me to get the $500 to evenly distribute it to pay that to you.
Oh, did you see the new one? Someone ripped the Sanders sign in half, and it says, I don't have a Sanders sign, so I took half of yours. I'm pretty sure you understand why.
God. This shit's getting funny.
Yeah, it is. Well, also, what? That one, what was it, New Hampshire, when him and Hillary walked out with the same amount of delegates? Hey, it's socialism at work. No, it isn't. You don't understand it. Uh-oh. NSA is messing with us. You're all garbled now. And there it goes. The NSA is after us again. What can I say? And no, we don't actually think the NSA is coming after us. It is an ongoing joke between Crash and myself, because every time we have any trouble with the phone lines, we automatically just blame it on the NSA. It's their fault. All right. Well, even if we didn't cuss, that would have blown it right there. You calling in and the theme song for you of "I'm an Asshole" from Dennis Leary.
I like Dennis Leary.
So do I. All right, what were you saying?
Hold on, we'll get to that. We've got to play the soundbite at some point of the sensitivity training class from Rescue Me.
Oh, I've talked about that. I have talked about that. Well, I also talked about kind of like how me and you would go to a bar and how we dealt with the stress of EMS and just start punching each other, and they'd come up and say something to us. What? Haven't you seen two people have a conversation before?
That is one of the best scenes ever. I think that has actually got to be one of my favorite scenes from that entire sitcom. What was? Oh, yeah, one of my favorite things. I can't remember which primary it was, but Sanders had. You look at the popular vote. You look at what the people voted for. Okay, so theoretically, that should be who the delegates go to. All right, the delegates. That's what's fricked up that whole damn system. Is the people vote, but depending on the rules for the delegates of that state, it may or may not put all the delegates to have to actually cast a vote on that side, and even still,
the super delegate vote.
Yeah, all that crap. So he landslides it, but all the super delegates go to Clinton, so she actually gets in the lead. And
no, they came out with the same. They did walk out with the same.
What's that?
You ever done yet?
No.
Are you done yet?
I don't know.
You're the one that wanted them. That's why.
I'll just turn him down for a moment. Sounds like he's getting in trouble. But yes, I was actually making that point earlier.
The brownies are for you and your mom, or for your sisters.
And he's still yipping on. I guess he's playing Betty Crocker now. But it was in New Hampshire, I believe it was, and Sanders and Hillary walked out with the exact same. You done talking to brownies? Oh, not yet.
Okay, shut up, asshole. Betty Crocker, I heard that shit.
I know you could hear what I was saying. I had you turned all the way down. It's fun to have the control.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, you're right, all right. Yeah, it was with all the super... Okay, but in that one state, yeah, they came out equal, and the meme was...
But he had landslided her.
How does it feel to do all the work and then have to give an equal share to the person that didn't do anything?
That was beautiful.
And he looked like a crying little kid.
Oh, yeah, he was whining and crying about it, and his supporters, they were just as bad, if not worse. And everybody's going, but we figured you'd be happy, that's socialism. No, it isn't. That has nothing to do with democratic socialism. Yeah, that's the definition of socialism.
The definition of it.
Oh, my God, some of these people.
The definition, it doesn't...
Oh. But yeah, I'm tired of the comparison, and it's showing that you're weak. You have nothing else to stand on. He's not conservative enough. Trump's not conservative. He's just like Obama. He's just like Obama. I can make the same argument about Rubio. I can make it about Cruz, especially Cruz. They're both attorneys. They're both junior senators. Actually, I can make that with Rubio because he is a junior senator. And he is an attorney also, but he was not a constitutional. Damn these headsets. There we go.
Isn't it ironic that the supposed constitutional lawyers seem to know the least about the Constitution?
Yeah, as I deceive votes out of people.
But they know how to try to manipulate and rewrite it through other means. So evidently what they studied in constitutional law was not how to enforce the law. It was how to rewrite, manipulate.
How to get around.
Yeah, that's right. They're lawyers. Forgot.
And I'm not trying to badmouth lawyers. Well, maybe I am. But
no, the fact of the matter is there's two sides to any coin, okay? A lawyer is supposed to uphold the law, okay? Judges are supposed to uphold the law. Now, with a lot of laws, yes, it is very black and white. It is, this is the way it is. With a lot of other ones, it is gray. It allows for some level of interpretation. The biggest problem with our legal system, at least in my opinion, is the fact that it's all personal preference. It really comes down to the individual. I mean, I could take the exact same law for the state of New Jersey, apply it in the state of Florida, apply it in Utah, and apply it in California, and given identical situations, identical circumstances, and the identical law, probably I'd bet, very safely bet, that I will end up with minimum 3, if not 4, different end results, whether it was guilty versus innocent or varying degrees thereof. Okay, whether it was manslaughter versus murder 1 for the exact same crime. Okay, but they nitpick what they're going to enforce to the letter of the law and what there's room for interpretation. There's a case right now in New Jersey, and anybody that knows about New Jersey's gun laws...
If anybody knows about Nazi states, New Jersey people know about it.
I think New York and California, I think, might actually have us top dog on the gun law one. But in any case, there was, and now this is what actually pisses me off. Okay, I'm sure a lot of people know about the young mother from Philadelphia that was going to Atlantic City.
Yep,
she had a legal firearm, a legal pistol, legally purchased, legally registered. She had a legal concealed carry permit. Now, she was not actually concealed carrying it in New Jersey.
Yeah, she had it in her car, didn't she?
She had it in her vehicle, but not within immediate reach of her, which underneath New Jersey law should have been transportation. Okay?
Yeah.
It was the transportation of a firearm. However, underneath New Jersey law, transportation of a firearm is from point A to point B with no unreasonable stops. Well, she didn't live in the state. I mean, essentially what that boils down to, in the state of New Jersey, if I want to go to the shooting range, I can't stop anyplace else. I have to go from my house to the range. If I stop at the store and pick up bullets on my way going, that could be considered reasonable.
Bullets for the
I stop and I get gas and I get bullets and I get that. I stop to get food. Nope, now I'm in trouble. That's what they railroaded her ass on. And it was a big thing. I mean...
Well, she ended up getting pardoned, didn't she?
She got a pardon, yeah, but that was after she lost her job, after she damn near lost her kids, because she was locked up. She would...
and what has Chris Christie done to help us?
What the hell was the prosecutor for the county? There was the whole pre-trial intervention program.
Oh, yeah.
Said she wasn't eligible for it. But the football player...
Ray Rice.
Cold-cocked.
Ray Rice.
Cold-cocked his girlfriend. Yeah, oh no, he got into the program right away.
Yep.
That was on videotape. That was assault and battery.
Oh, that was more than assault and battery. That could have been an attempted murder.
Yeah, but he got into it. Well, what the hell? Same damn county.
Yeah, well, that prosecutor, if I remember right, ended up getting in a little bit of trouble over that whole incident.
Yeah, well, eventually Christie did pardon her, which I think was the right move. Now, moving forward to more current events, I guess the best way to put it is low-budget film. Okay? It was in northern New Jersey. There was a comedian that was a part of it. And I don't know the storyline or whatever the hell it was, but they were shooting a scene in a neighborhood, and he had a prop gun. It was an airsoft pistol. You don't need a permit to buy one of those. I can go to any sporting goods store, My kid can go to a sporting goods store and buy a paintball gun or an airsoft gun and go and play the damn game, okay? It's a flipping game. They are toys, okay? Well, that was the prop gun. It was an airsoft pistol. It was in his waistband. They shot the scene, blah, blah, blah. Well, somebody who saw what was going on, and there's, a whole thing about, well, did they tell the neighbors? Whatever. I don't give a shit. Somebody called 911. All right. Now, in defense of the responding officers, you're responding to a call of a group of individuals. Part of the scene evidently had to do with some type of altercation. Okay? So you've got responding officers coming to an altercation in a neighborhood with a weapon. That's what they're given. I am not going to fault responding officers for coming in hard. Because you know what? They're not going to know any better coming in. And given the area, you know what? I'm not going to fault them for it. Now, when they showed up and found out what was going on and realized that it was a toy, should some interpretation or some leeway then given? Yeah, possibly. But now here's the sidestep to that, is the fact that, well, they didn't have a permit to shoot the movie, so supposedly that was the big deal. But because of the way New Jersey's gun laws are, an airsoft pistol, even though an 18-year-old can legally buy one, an airsoft pistol is still considered a firearm. So he was arrested for carrying a concealed firearm because New Jersey's law states that is a firearm.
I thank God that I am not in New Jersey anymore.
Well,
but with that, we can finish on the other side of the break.
I am not done. No. No.
All right, I'll let you go this one time.
State legislatures on both sides of the aisle have actually gotten together and said, this is ridiculous. Nobody should go to jail for 5 years for a toy, which I completely agree with. And I'm loving the fact that both sides are getting together on this. What pisses me off is it took a freaking movie star. It took a public icon to get in trouble before they actually pulled their heads out of their collective sphincters.
Yeah.
That's what pisses me off. Now you can go to commercial.
As he said, we will be right back on the other side of this break. Sugar, I didn't set it up, but here we go. Be right back. You're listening to Dad, damn it. Nope. Damn controller. Shut up there.
You're listening to the Beavis and Butthead show.
You're listening to Reaver After Dark with your host, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on shrmedia.com. We'll be right back after the break.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
You have been listening to Reaver Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver Common Sense Show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplansdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying half of the stupid bro.
Sackhead Clint.
all good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you missed any of the Reaver of Common Sense or Reaver After Dark show, just go to Reaver.one. While you're there, click the like button so you can keep up with everything Reaver. Now, back to the show.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver After Dark with your hosts, the Jersey Boys, myself, and Crash. Do you know what's funny is we did that for the whole first segment, and that wasn't even on the schedule for what was to be talked about. Seems like we're doing that a lot more often.
We have a schedule?
Well, not a schedule, but we have a list of items that we're going to talk about.
We do?
I send it to you every week.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh.
Now you remember, right? Now you remember.
I'm too conservative to read what you send me.
Yeah. I can see that going on because a lot of people keep going on about this crap of Trump being liberal and stuff.
It was put into the wrong email server and accidentally deleted. That's what it was.
Oh, remind me on the next break, I do need to talk to you about something, about the old account that you were going to look into.
Yeah, I still need to do that. You actually have to remind me to do that. So
okay.
We'll talk later.
Everybody's probably like, what the heck? Are they dealing in drugs? Martha! This was something that you wanted. Okay, go.
Actually, that brings up a really funny thing.
Martha brings up something funny?
Mm-hmm. And you'll get it in just a second. Okay. It's funny, the power of words. And with all this political race stuff going on right now, it popped into my head. It is funny, the power of words and how they can be manipulated.
You're a racist.
I was... That actually was not one of the charges.
Oh.
I was actually, at one point, I was brought into court. I was summoned. And the only thing my lawyer would tell me was I had to appear. Okay. Would not tell me why I had to appear, but just told me that I needed to. Okay. Well, trusting my attorney, I was okay, and I did. So, then she decides to tell me what they are throwing at me in this lawsuit to try to discredit me. Okay? what they were using to discredit me was I was a gang member, I was a member of an organized gang, and I was a drug dealer. Now, the power of words are so interesting, because she looked at me and chuckled and said, and I know you can just dispute all of this. And I looked at her and said, well, quite honestly, no, ma'am, I cannot. Her jaw drops. What? Like, well, give me the definition of a gang, an organized gang. It's an organized group of people that serve a purpose. Well, I'm a firefighter, been in a union, so wouldn't that meet the definition of a gang? So being a gang member, I guess I could not legally dispute in a court of law. As for being a drug dealer, yes, I have administered various medications in the course of my duties in the field to either save lives or ease in pain and suffering. She looked at me point blank and said, I know I'll go to jail for this, but if you repeat that in front of a judge, I will throw you out the goddamn window, and we are on the 3rd floor. To which I replied, I survived that fall once.
So that's what happened to you.
My retainer went up after that. But it's ironic, the power of words.
Yeah.
Because that's what this person was trying to use to discredit me. Was he took the fact that I was a medical provider and only attached drug administration, which I was doing legally for a medical purpose, but by phrasing it a certain way, it's now criminal. The power of words. It's absolutely amazing to me. It truly is.
It sort of has to deal with that a little bit. It sort of does. And I'm not going to get into the whole story, but I had it for later on. CBS ran with a story the other day about Trump, how he was lying, and how he was saying, actually it was yesterday afternoon, he tweeted out how he has created a lot of jobs in Hawaii. And so CBS looks into it, and the Trump Hotel is... they franchise his name, basically. They lease his name out. So they're like, he has nothing to do with this hotel. He just gets paid money so they can use his name. He's not employing anybody. Well,
it wasn't even 24 hours later, and...
Yes, and now it was looked into, and also Trump's services also include a management agreement where Trump... Well, not specifically Trump, but his company goes in and takes control of the whole hotel, pays all the employees, does the hiring, firing, it runs it A to B, and the owners of the hotel then get a check from Trump. So, yes, he does. But it's funny, now, do you hear CBS going out there to, try to correct their statement?
It's, again, the power of words.
Yep.
It all has to do with how it's phrased, and it can go two completely different ways. Now, even if the second part of that did not occur,
he still was creating jobs by having his name on it. They were able to charge extra money.
Exactly, it was a franchise. Okay, the fact that his name, because whether people admit it or not, people are creatures of habit, and people do go to what they're familiar with. Now, if you associate the Trump name in a resort to being luxurious and well-staffed and very nice and elegant, you're going to pay to go to that resort opposed to the no-name resort.
Yep.
Okay, you will pay that markup. So... if they're leasing his name is, in effect, bringing additional clientele in, which drives the fact that they need additional personnel to service that need.
Well, let's step on one little thing real quick. Correct me if I'm wrong, you have not endorsed any candidate at this time. You still don't know who you're going to vote for. I mean, you still have... another month or two to decide in New Jersey. I think it's not until, April? May?
Oh.
But
honestly, that I don't know. I do know that supposedly this is the first time in a long-ass time New Jersey is actually going to actually play a role in a primary, because usually it's so decided beforehand that it doesn't even matter. But as far as an actual endorsement, who I'm going to vote for, officially, no, I haven't. So that statement's correct.
Hey, I just don't want people thinking that both of us are Trump supporters, and that's why we're speaking so highly of him. Real quick, I want to touch on one other thing, because you're very close to Atlantic City, and we both lived a lot of years in New Jersey, and I sort of remember this argument. You may not. I don't know if you were even born, but the house that was next to one of Trump's hotels, the casinos, that the false push is being done, that he kicked an old lady out of the house through eminent domain, which, number one, during that time, those houses weren't even worth, the paper that people wipe their butts with. And she was offered $5 million from Trump. She turned it down. Then the state tried it. The house is still there to this day, but I heard there was an agreement of $500,000 for that house, when the property in that area is not worth that money. Am I wrong on that?
Hold on. Put me on mute.
Remember, everybody, and I do apologize, and I know Crash does too. He's kind enough that he calls in and he helps me with the show. He's calling in and he's at his house, and he usually is outside. So he's been doing this all winter, going outside, freezing his tuchus off, to be a part of the show. And I do appreciate it. So sometimes he gets interrupted. He has 4 kids, and please have pity on him, because he is the only male in that house between the 4 female children and the 1 female wife. So please send your prayers his way, because I think they're needed. You done?
I'm back.
All right.
I'm back. Okay. All right. So talking about the house. Now, which house? I'm trying to remember. I believe that was for Trump Plaza. No, the house still exists. It is still there. Yeah. Essentially, what he ended up doing, in true Trump fashion, is he built up around it. He bought all the surrounding land, and he built up around it. That house, yes, the market value of pretty much all the real estate in Atlantic City is bottomed out. It is tanked. However, that house is damn near iconic just for what it went through. That house actually could probably fetch a premium.
Well, okay, now, yeah, it might.
Just because of what it is. Now, it's funny they should bring that up. Now, I've been involved in Atlantic City in construction for numerous hotel projects. One of them actually was a Trump. It was Taj. Okay? I actually met the guy. Personally, it's kind of hit or miss, my feelings on him personally, and as a businessman, because I've dealt with him kind of on both aspects. However, he does get shit done, which I might disagree with you, but you perform, you do your job. It's kind of hard to argue with that. Revel Casino, which is a complete flop, they did the same thing, where they tried buying up all the land, and they used the eminent domain, and they used all the rest of it, and they succeeded in buying enough, almost enough, to actually put a whole new section onto the casino, the whole conference center they wanted to put in. Never got built. There were several pieces of property they could not procure. Now, the funny thing was, they did the same thing that Trump did.
Yeah.
They offered a crap load of money. People said no. They kept holding out for more, holding out for more, holding out for more. One person was actually holding out on the stance of, I'm not selling, F you, it's never going to happen. Other people, and it was like direct neighbors, okay, they were holding out for more. Then the market crashed. They ended up almost taking a loss selling to the casino.
Yeah, now they're kicking
themselves. They just wanted to get something. Just because they just wanted to get something. Well, guess what? It crashed so goddamn bad. Revel was supposed to be a 2-tower hotel. It's a 1. Never got the convention center. It's got a lot of empty land around it because they already did the demolition for the houses that they did buy. And the state essentially, New Jersey subsidized most of it. And, well, hey, guess what? As much as I may dislike Christie and I may dislike, some other politicians, we're damn near on the same road as Chicago. We just haven't hit it yet. And part of that's because we do have people that are actually trying to look out for the best interest, and they are saying, we can't freaking afford it. No, we can't do this. No, we won't take another loan. And I'm not trying to give all the credit to Christie because it's not all his, but...
Yeah. But it's that time again.
All right.
I want to give a little teaser.
I'll allow you to go to commercial.
But I want to give a little teaser. We're going to be talking after the break, and it's probably spending the whole time on Lavoy Finicum. There's some new evidence that has come out about his death, and we will get to that right after a commercial break. There we go. You're listening to Reaver After Dark with the Jersey Boys. Jersey Joe and Crash right here on SHRmedia.com.
Done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
You have been listening to Reaver Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver Common Sense Show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on SHRmedia.com and HighPlainsDailyNews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cow for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on SHRmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Jersey Crash, right here on SHRmedia.com and HighPlainsDailyNews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you missed any of the Reaver of Common Sense or Reaver After Dark show, just go to Reaver.one. While you're there, click the like button so you can keep up with everything Reaver. Now, back to the show.
done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver After Dark with your hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash. And this is going to be the last segment. I got Crash back here. And we're going to be talking about FBI agents that were involved in the shooting death of Lavoy Finicum. That was that whole Oregon incident for January. But now the FBI agents are under investigation from the DOJ themselves. A new video recorded from inside the car, driven by Robert Lavoy Finicum, was released today, which was yesterday actually, capturing the harrowing moments before, during, and after he was shot to death in Oregon last January. The United States Department of Justice also announced it is investigating a group of elite FBI agents for partaking in a cover-up of the shooting, according to the Oregonian. It turns out one FBI agent shot his gun twice, but claimed he never fired his gun. The U.S. DOJ said those bullets did not strike the Arizona rancher who had been part of a group of activists occupying the National Wildlife Refuge throughout January. Finicum instead was shot 3 times in the back by an Oregon State Police officer, including one bullet that pierced his heart. Now, the shooting death was ruled justified because the officers said they were in fear for their lives. One of the bullets shot by the FBI agent struck his vehicle at a different angle than all the other shots, which is what led investigators to determine he lied. Now, I don't know about you, Crash, but from all my knowledge, shooting someone in the back is not a justification and is not a fear for your life. If someone has their back turned towards you, you have nothing to fear at that point.
You know me.
Let's also, I want to make sure, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I want to make sure people understand. We have several friends that are in law enforcement. I believe Crash has some relatives that are in law enforcement. We are not anti-law enforcement. We are not anti-FBI agents. I'm not crazy about them.
We're actually extremely pro.
Right. Well, FBI, I have a little bit different from a personal incident with them where they told me they don't give a shit whether I'm innocent or not. If they can close the case, they'll put an innocent person away. They don't care. So I have a little bit of a problem.
I forgot about that. I mean, as far as law enforcement as an entity, I am pro. There are good and there are bad in any.
Hey, Dean, you might have to call me back. You're breaking up.
Better.
You there?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. It's just the same as I don't like the stigma of being a fireman, as all firemen are drunks and womanizers.
Arsonists.
I don't like that stigma. But, hey, we live with it, right? Because there are the bad apples. And the bad apples, they're the ones who catch the limelight.
Dean, you're going to have to call me back. You're breaking up too bad. It's damn NSA. He'll call me right back. Sometimes I think the phone gets a little tired and needs a reboot. I swear. We're both very pro police. We've worked hand-in-hand police with our past careers. But there is sometimes bad intentions. All right, now let's try it again.
All right.
There we go.
Okay. I don't like Monday morning quarterbacking. If I wasn't there, I try to be reserved on my commentary. However, I will say, all right, shooting somebody in the back, you better have a goddamn good reason for it, such as, I mean, you could see the pistol coming out of the holster, the shot, all the rest of it, which, even still, it's questionable, because it's questionable whether or not it ever could have been brought to target. Taking self-defense classes, which I did, and I took some on the West Coast, in the Southwest, on lethal use of force, okay? And one of the very first things I was actually told was, if somebody is breaking into your home, I have the right to defend my life. I have the right to defend my family. However, if the person sees that I've got a gun and turns around and runs away, and I fire, I'm now guilty of murder. I'm like, whoa, wait a second. Maybe he's not running away. Maybe he's running for cover. It doesn't matter. If the bullet enters the back, the assumption is they were trying to flee from you, which now makes you guilty. I'm like, okay, so what happens in that split instant where I identify that I'm armed, I pull the trigger, it's across a decent expanse, and that split second, that microsecond, they just happen to turn, and it enters the side of their body. Well, then, based on the trajectory, if it looks like you might have been turning to run away, you could still be guilty.
Yep.
I was like, I asked the guy, are you freaking kidding me? Now, this was a sheriff's deputy who was a training officer in this type of class, and he said, yes, unfortunately, and that's what he said, unfortunately, that is the law. That is the law. Okay, now, taking the whole thing into context, yes, you could very likely get off on a defense charge, that it was defense. However, you would initially be brought in if the entry wound is not in the front. If there's any entry wound from the rear, or that appears that it came from, in that type of trajectory, like they were turning to the side, blah, 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 which essentially the only thing I could come up with to that was, okay, so fine, I can rob anybody's home as long as I do it walking in backwards.
I'm Michael Jackson.
Yeah. But
something's not right with that whole situation. Something's not right.
The thing is, I'm not, and I'm going to say right now, I am not a law enforcement expert. I am not a tactician for SWAT teams. I have worked with them. I have literally been involved in with them during operations, whatever. But I was done as I was told to do, and I was there. I was there as a medic, same as you. We were there in case something went wrong. We were the oh shit factor. That's what we were there for.
Yeah,
that was the only purpose that we served. But we had enough exposure to
that we know
get some knowledge.
Yeah,
we have some basic knowledge. Now, you've got you've got a completely snowed in area, and you completely buried. Now, this is just coming from just watching, what was it, a drone?
A helicopter or a drone, or I think it was a helicopter. Okay. But you got to watch, and I want to let everybody know, if you go to Reaver.1, I got the video where they have it synced up with whether it was the helicopter or the drone, but the inside video is synced up so it's running at the same exact time. Now, the other thing that I didn't mention, and I'm sorry, and we got to do this quickly because we only got like 3 minutes, is after they shot and killed Lavoie, they started throwing flashbangs and all that towards the truck. Now, there's been no aggressive movement by anybody inside the truck, but they started throwing them. Now, when they went to try to get out of the truck, because the windows were blowing up, all that, they opened fire on the vehicle, which caused the people to jump back inside, and then more flash grenades went off. Now, you can hear all of this going on. You can hear the gunshots, even though you can't see on the video, but you can hear the gunshots, and it's synced up with the helicopter. So, go to Reaver.1.
Yeah, the only thing, just to make this a really quick synopsis, the way that barricade was done, it gave no room for any maneuverability. It was either plow into the law enforcement or supposed law enforcement, or go into the snowbank. They went into the snowbank. The only person that exited the vehicle was Lavoie. Somebody comes out of the woods. Okay, well, that person would have been, they're there for counterattack. They're there to cover the area. They're not supposed to be a primary. That doesn't make any sense. But now his direction of fire, if he should miss or a bullet pass through, would end up on his comrades.
Yeah.
Okay, that's crossing fire. That is a piss-poor tactic at any time. Another individual left cover from behind the vehicle and rushed McVoy. They still don't know who's in the vehicle, how many, or whether or not they're armed. So they're in fear of their life from one person, but not in fear of everybody else inside the vehicle. The story doesn't make sense.
Nothing's adding up.
To me, the story doesn't make sense.
Also, it's the Oregon governor and representative of Oregon that is saying that the shooting is justified.
Real quick.
Yep.
One other thing that doesn't make any sense, you're going to say that this was an elite FBI team that's
Why
being
was
investigated
Oregon
for this? Okay. Whether it's FBI, state police, whatever it was, how was it an Oregon state trooper was the one who fired all the fatal rounds? He was the backup? No.
No, something's not right.
No.
And I'm not trying to be conspiracy theorist, but just something doesn't add up with the situation.
It doesn't. And again, yeah, it's not a conspiracy theory. This is just looking at... Sorry, I have experience with names and ranks. So do you. We have experience with basic tactics. And it just, from a layperson point of view, it doesn't look right.
Yeah, something doesn't smell right.
Isn't right. Something isn't right. If it smells like shit, hey, good bet, you got a leak.
But then also you got the FBI or the DOJ's investigating the FBI because they're saying stories aren't adding up with trajectories of bullets, and one says he didn't fire at all, but yet they're okay with everything else. And everything that FBI goes in, they take control.
Now, the one thing I will say about that, there is one thing in it. Now, this is kind of a devil's advocate role. When adrenaline starts pumping, you have to respond in a split second to a situation. Are you going to be able to recall mentally exactly every single action you took? I mean, you and I have both been on
but you should know whether you fired the weapon or not.
You should. But I'm just saying...
I understand that, and I thought of that.
Yeah.
But if he said that he fired one shot and he fired 3 shots, I'd say, okay, it's that. But, okay, he's saying he didn't shoot his gun at all, and he fired away from where everybody else was firing. He's firing in the opposite direction.
Okay, fair. Okay. I haven't seen this part of it.
Yeah.
So, but, okay. No, that's fair. Okay.
So,
all right.
And on that, it is... that evil time that the show has gone by so quickly. But Reaver After Dark will be back next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on shrmedia.com. And also catch Reaver of Common Sense, where I try to make the sense out of the senseless, every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can also catch a live stream now of the show at Reaver.one. Until tomorrow, have a great night.
I've been around this world, yet I see no end. All shall fade to black again and again. This storm that's broken me, my only friend, yeah. In this river all shall fade to black. In this river